Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, today with very different color than I usually play. It is a mono green, because if you cannot beat them, you need to join them. Join the dark side of ESIKA'S Chariot. Because this deck is a lot about ESIKA'S Chariot. It's the most busted card here. The rest cards, have good and bad. ESIKA'S Chariot just wins you the games on its own. So we will talk about it in a moment. But first let's check what the deck is about. It's not like your typical stompy thing that you want to play 1-2-3 drop and make big creatures to kill the enemy as quickly as possible. It's more of a ramp into big payouts. So for this reason we have 4 Dryads. We do have Shigeki that can ramp, but mostly Sculptor of Winter. It's a bit easier to run because it doesn't require any mana, and generally after you play 2-drop, you don't want to miss the 3 or 4-drop. So Shigeki is a bit of a value card here. We have very strong 3-drops. We have 3 Topiary Stomper, we have 3 Trolls, because they are pretty good. And then, if you can ramp, especially on the play, into ESIKA'S Chariot with the Sculptor or Dryad, like, you are in such a good place. If this doesn't get countered, enemy barely can answer it, and you can see, like, it has crew 4, right? Guess what has 4 attack? All of our 3-drops. Basically everything in our deck except the mana creatures, so it's very easy to crew it. Even if he kills the cats, it doesn't matter. What more, if he kills one of the cats, you still have the other one to copy, and you can crew it with everything, so it will attack and it will make a second cat, and enemy is in exactly the same spot, just with one creature more on the board on your side, so it just gets worse. Like, for the enemy, it gets worse. That's the name of the game after the chariot is played. So, what more? We also have a lot of ramp into 5. 5 is our huge spot here in the deck. We have Wrenns, and Wrenns actually also really help with hitting the land drops. I had some games, you will see, that I really needed those land drops, and when you +1 at once, like, this gives you so much mana for the future. So sometimes it really helps, but generally, of course, you go for -3 as a rule, just to create a huge dude that will block, attack, and do everything. Workshop Warchief, card that I really like personally. Every deck I'm playing this with feels better, and I think it's such a great value play. I didn't have much trouble with the deck, with the life, to be honest. Like, we aren't usually very pressured. Like, our creatures are big, so we just need to win on board. We aren't really getting smorked because we have so many so big creatures, so usually, if anything, we run out of value. So then the Blitz comes in, and the 5 extra damage with Trample, and also the draw a card. And then you still have the token. Don't forget, you have this 4/4 after this dice from Blitz, so that's quite insane, because the problem with Blitz is that you don't get any board value, you don't get tempo, you lose the tempo in order to get the card advantage, for example with Tenacious Underdog. Here you actually get both. You gain 3 life, you get a strong attack for 1 turn, you draw a card, and you make a 4/4. That's a lot of value. It's expensive, but it's really good. Okay, and we have, as a big payout for the deck, the main one is Titan of Industry. This is basically your end game, and you want to close the game by playing this card every turn for 2 or 3 turns, and then the first one might be acceptable for the enemy, the second one will probably kill him, the third one is just, oh, I'm scooping out of here. So that's what you do, because it's just a high value. And one advice, of course, here you really need to think about this shield counter. What you shield is such a big thing. When you shield is such a big thing, so think about it twice, think what sweepers enemy will have, and play exactly to make the sweepers awkward, because it's much harder to play a targeted removal and then make a sweeper that can kill a 7-drop. If this is not shielded, then it's much easier. So usually you shield this one versus any deck that can sweep. Yeah. And sometimes killing Mythic with the Destroy enchantment is huge, so also consider this play. Depends on the situations, really. Here we have very aggressive mana base for Lair of the Hydra, and I actually really like it in the deck. It will help, especially that you force enemy to sweep so much and you deal so much damage, especially with like 4/4 trample. Like enemy is pressured by this deck crazy strongly. And Lair only adds to this, and with Wrenn and Ramp you also have a lot of mana to play with. You can even make double attacks with double Lairs, especially after the sweeper, and if enemy is at like 1/4 HP, you can even double activate this stuff and, you know, just force him to have 2 extra removals just to survive. Oh, and by the way, if you watch the games, you will see how not to play Dimir. Even though I misplayed hard in this game, like the play that you will see from the enemy is something else. Read your cards. All I say, please read your cards. There are drawbacks to the cards sometimes. Okay, that being said, what I feel about the deck, it's actually surprisingly fun. I did enjoy it. I think we could go into for ESIKA'S Chariot because the card is busted. So it is a possibility, but yeah, it's fun casting Chariots, Titan. I must say, it's much more fun to be on the giving side of the ESIKA'S Chariot than to be on the smorked side of the ESIKA'S Chariot. Suddenly I like the cards, it's quite good, it's fun, it's fine, it's fine. And jokes aside, the deck has quite a bit of longevity. Like you can go for a long time with this deck, and like those smorkers, your 3-drops are so sweet because you can pressure enemy like with 2 cards, 1 attack, it's already 8 damage to the face. When he survives it 1 time, for the rest of the game you basically can pressure him into awkward situations because he has so little HP, right? Especially with the Warchief, like you can put this additional piece that he didn't account for, and this is usually enough. So I like the deck, I think it's decent. On the win rate, it's really solid. We had like 57% win rate, I believe, something like this. Yeah, and I think this is like very in line with like the real average for the like big stats. So this is a very decent Mythic deck. So you can safely go ladder with this, and you will, even in Mythic, you will win more than you lose if you pilot it right. So that being said, I think the deck is worth a try. However, if you are a control player like me, you might not have a lot of those cards. So think twice if you really want to play green too much and craft all of them. Like for me it was devastating to get all those trolls. Warchiefs I have from before, but Titan is also quite expensive if you don't play them so far. Stompers as well, so yeah, something to consider definitely, but the deck is very strong, very solid, and it has a fair shot at everything. So that being said, if you like the deck, if you like the channel, I really appreciate the support you guys gave in the comments. I enjoyed reading the comments, I'm not gonna lie, thank you for that. And we will try to grow. So if you like the video, if you like the decks, just tell your friends you found a cool channel. And if you hate the channel and you hate the content, just tell Sloth you are the worst. And I will try to answer it somehow. Alright, that being said, thank you, enjoy the games, and I think they were pretty fun, so enjoy. Okay, we finally go first with some removal and some ramp, so I'm pretty happy about this one, especially with the Stomper. Every time I see the Stomper, I'm a bit happier. Hopefully this won't die. Enemy might have Boros version, so it might be red into removal. But then they cannot really play much of a threat, so it's not the worst. And maybe it's mono white. Oh, I see. I wonder what the next color is. Alright. We are doing display. I control this. He controls this. Smork. That's fine. There are also snow permanents, so we get the indestructibility anyway. I want to kill it as quickly as possible because if he runs this card, it means that his whole deck is built around this card. Brutal Qatar hurts, but it's not the worst. We just need to be sure to play cards every turn. That's like a main thing. Let's get some mana. Let's get some more mana. I'm not sure which one will be correct, to be honest. I would go with the Stomper. Whenever you play Stomper, you feel a bit better. This way we can ramp a bit next turn better. And with the Dryad, like, we need to keep casting spells. Enemy has 6 cards, we have 3. Our are big, but he has Qatar that doesn't care about how big our cards are. And we need to dig into Blizzard Brawl. But don't get me wrong, like, we needed to kill the Virtuoso anyway. Man, like, enemies having so much removal. Like, we both run the same copies. Okay, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I control this, he controls this. And now I get the free ramp, so that's why I didn't take this, and also it's bigger, so way better to do it this way. We don't mind attacking, we need to start dealing some damage finally. Smart. And now we go for the Troll. The Trample is the big thing here. And we are very quickly going into Titan of Industry territory, and that's huge. Okay, so he did it himself. Don't worry, my friend, we will flip it back. We cannot activate the Stomper, right? So we only do one attack. Not sure what this is. Definitely not the Emperor, might be Indestructibility, like Valorous stance. I think I want to cast the Troll and then cast the Dryad for ramp. That's the plan. So let's attack with the Troll only. Yeah, and we want to double spell because he tries. Oh no, but then okay, we cannot double spell. That's yeah. I forgot that he gets the benefit even with Leaf Whip somehow. I don't know how, but I did. So let's go slower with the Troll. He seems to be having problems with the Trample of Trolls. That was a weird confirmation. And we do not cast the second one. So he will double spell this turn and he will remove something. Probably the Troll. Then we follow up with Titan and hopefully he doesn't have time to flip again. And he wasted already 2 Qatars in what, top 13 cards, so there's low chance that he will draw more. However, they might play Apparition, and they are basically like a Brutal Qatar. Okay, sure. Like, Vigilance is a thing here. Like, man, Vigilance is such a big deal. You can double block it. I'm not sure what the enemy has in hand. Like, to be fair, I have no idea what this is. But we can untap. Oh no, it's not a snow one. We could activate the Lair, but that's not good enough. I also don't think ramping is a thing, right? Because we could ramp for Titan. I think we just take the 4. If we draw land with Neverwinter Dryad, we can go into, you know, attacking Stomper, I mean. Wrenn is a very good draw here. Like, it actually is a very good draw. Do we attack with everything? It doesn't seem like a great idea, to be fair. I think we play the Wrenn. Oh man, it's so hard. I don't know what we should do. It's tempting to go for the token and just make a huge attack next turn. But playing clans... Man, I like playing clans so much. I will do it. It might be a mistake, but I want to play land this turn. This way we can Titan of Industry. And we don't play the Dryad. For the obvious reasons. 1 spell. So I will attack with everything, but when I activate the Stomper, so that's also why I want the lands. A Boseiju won't be needed here, most likely. Enemy will flashback, attack again, so it's still Vigilance and 5-5. And if he attacks the Wrenn, I might be forced to block it, just to save the 3-fork loyalty cost. Interesting game. He can double spell very easily, I think. His whole deck is built around it. But I think then he might tap out and he wants to be reactive. But I'm pretty sure he should switch to daytime and just start collecting our creatures like trophies. And I expect attack here on the Wrenn, because it basically removes the creature. Yep, that's a good call. And we go to blockers. We got some lands for the Wrenn, so that's why I really wanted to draw, because like basically we got 2 free mana of this, and now we are healthy for the rest of the game, and we even can make a double token if we really want. Shigeki is nice. So we definitely do this, and we need to start pressuring enemy really hard. I wanted the Stomper here. And if he kills the troll, then we get additional mana. So he doesn't want to give us the troll, but that's 8 damage already. So that's pretty huge. And we'll make so much stats this turn that you wouldn't believe. It will be like 18 of stats. So pretty good. And enemy is at 5, so I'm not sure how he can handle it. Let's start with the loyalty. Like, he shouldn't have anything like depopulate. That's not the deck. He might have Valorous stance, but we'll get the shield counter, right? Definitely the Rhino, and definitely the shield counter. And now we see... Oh, okay. So if he had Valorous stance, we wouldn't lose the shield counter, because he needs to answer the effect before everything, right? Okay. Interesting play. But my friend, how do you survive next turn versus 15 damage with trample? You need to pump something by like 6 just to survive. So I'm not sure about this one. What did he remove? Like, he should remove the Titan. When this comes to battlefield, he should have answered this effect with the Valorous stance. Like, he can switch to daytime, but he can block only one of the creatures, right? Even without the Titan, it's already 8 damage after he blocks one. Okay, that makes a difference. So this was double spell, right? But he loses first strike, so that's something to consider, but yeah, it's so big that it won't make a huge difference. Enemy still has 1 mana. Like, this Brutal Qatar was the only problem this game. Like, Brutal Qatar is just... I have no idea why did he scoop. He can just block this with this, block this with this, and then he's at 1, and he has full turn. Okay, like, you can also concede. I think we still had good fair shot of winning, but I don't think it was over. It depended what he had in the hand. But, you know, good game, I'll take it. Okay, opponent goes first. We do have ESIKA'S Chariot, but we are not on the play with ramp. So we will see how it goes. That's a decent draw. Like, we still have the Sculptor, but at least this is a creature into land, and this is permanently a creature, so, you know, a bit more value this way, I guess. Shigeki, not playing into Jukai, no thank you. So, of course, we do sacrifice it at the end step, And next turn, hopefully he taps out because like obviously he knows that if you ramp, then 4-drop is a big one. So this is Azorius control? What the sleeve is? It's like Obscura, right? So it might be Esper, but they would usually play more different lands, I think. I really don't want to get Juaried, and it seems like such obvious Juari, but we have double chariots, so we can invest one of them. And you know, if he has it, sure. So I don't think it's Esper, I think it's Azorius if they play Juari. Probably 3 or 4 if they got one in the top 10 cards. Well, how many you have? It's the battle of can I make the chariot into the game, basically, at the moment. Memory Deluge. Blizzard Brawls are pretty useless, so that was awful part of the draw, unfortunately. So we have some pressure on the enemy. If he removes one of the cards, we can kill. Do the Sculptor thing, but it's still not the easiest. At some point, we need to use Shigeki to gain back the value, but we cannot get legendary things, right? Not legendary, and ESIKA'S Chariot is definitely a bit legendary. So our main value will sit in the graveyard. I still think like playing into those Juaris was okay. Easy. See? All you need to do is draw a lot of chariots. Okay, and we keep this one. Choose the you wish to keep. I wish to keep this one because it has haste. It is fast. I do feel it, man. I know it's broken. Third chariot. I don't have emote. I want to like, you know, show him I understand the pain. I really do. He played it quite nicely, so he invested a bit of value just to get rid of the crewing. Just to prevent like the sculptor crewing that we wanted to do, basically. How can he respawn? I think we do it like this first, because we want to fish for counter. Maybe it's like mana based counter. He definitely has something. I choose this. Oh no. I choose this. Because then they need to target it with something. And if they don't, we get additional damage. Okay. I will crew my chariot. That's pretty good. You know, the best chariot around. Man, like this top deck was crazy. We were so done if we didn't draw this. I feel bad by playing this. Like, it doesn't change anything, right? Just for the science, let's take the cool cat, let's say. Okay, that's actually good, because if he destroys this, we still get the copy. Okay. By accident, by science, I actually made a good call. And the copy is like standard, right? You know, that's still a lot of them. But this kind of deck, after the rush, will have a sweeper. So we need to prepare. And I guess we get back the Sculptor. Neverwinter Dryad. And by the way, I'm telegraphing so crazy much what I have that it hurts. Good game, my friend. Oh man, I feel the pain. So he didn't have the sweeper. Or maybe he didn't have the land, because Doomscar is 5 mana without foretelling. Man, basically all we did is play 3 chariots. That's it. The chariot deck. Okay, going first with the ramp, with the troll. What not to laugh? Probably like having double titan on the start, but we will get there. Deck has lands, we will ramp. At some point troll will die, so I'm hopeful. And we are against a swamp, a new Capena swamp. Okay, that hurts like hell. Not gonna lie. The ramp is something we really needed, so that was a good play by the enemy. Okay, and we are playing against the Mir. However, I still will ramp as much as I can. Like, we definitely need as many lands as possible with this deck. And we need to go scary. Like, you know, before the enemy just smorgs the board. Not the 1 damage from the Heartstabber. Man, like, the lands do not cooperate. They do not cooperate. This is okay play, but it's also a pretty bad play. Like, we wanted land and Warchief. Okay, sorry, had to mute the mic. So, enemy is deadly disputing. Oh, it's Grixis. Without the red. Never mind. Okay, interesting. Like, I would think it's a reanimator, but it's not, probably. Let's go for the attack first. The Blitz is 6 mana, not 5, so we cannot even consider this one. Alright, so... Is it Wrenn? I do expect there might be a counter spell. But Grixis very often doesn't play those, so we will see. If he wants to counter, then okay. At least we cut his turn, because usually they have 4 mana plays at the end step, like Memory Deluge or Wind Force, things like this. Especially this, I think he should be playing big score, because this card helps him quite a bit. So it's not as horrible as it seems, but it's still pretty horrible. We need to really ramp into 7 mana so the Stomper can pressure. You know what? Fine. I will do it. Just to activate the Stomper and force the enemy to play stuff. Somehow we need to pressure him. Alright, we still are short. Man, I am not a great driver for this one deck. For some reason I thought it would be the 7th. I must miscalculated. So that was an awful play. Maybe not as awful, because next turn we might start casting Titan of Industry. But it was still pretty bad. So the correct one would be Warchief probably. But we will see. Maybe if we draw an untapped land, it actually pays out. Okay, and enemy will start doing reanimating stuff, I guess? I'm not sure. Like, it doesn't seem like reanimator deck, but it's heavy on the discard, so maybe just 5 different cost strategy. Kaito. Kaito is interesting.
The system can't fix everything, but we can. Our eyes are everywhere.
What the sweeper is? Mid-hook seems like a sweeper, right? This 2 mana is really fishy, but it might be just a negate. We could just blitz this. And to be honest, I think that's the best play. We also keep 1 mana versus Jukai. We gain some life, which does not really matter. And we have double tramplers. So that's a big deal. We get the token, we have the troll. He might have mid-hook massacre or something like this. Oh, that's a lot of damage. He will be nearly dead. 1 HP. But it's not like we might still have trouble finishing him if he has a good draw. Shigeki is very decent draw. Titan is a bit slow. Let's see what the sweeper is. Like, this has trample, so he needs to remove the troll at least. Predator. So he has Infernal Grasp? He needs... oh, so it's Maestro Charm, I think. Okay, or Brapchi first. That makes sense now. But... okay, so, sacrifice another creature, tap it. So then we get the trample, right? I mean, the trample won't go through. I think we still do it. It will be indestructible, so we don't really gain anything by this. We cannot really buff anything, we cannot kill the creature. I think it's Storm the Festival. He plays like he has negate though. He didn't counter the Blitz thing. So actually let's play like this. I think he has negate. So I don't... Storm the Festival will work very badly with negate, obviously. So let's play like this. Obviously this one is the hardest for him. He cannot mid-hook it, so he needs direct damage first. Like this forces him to sacrifice the ninja. Is this really good though? And then he cannot draw cards, I guess. I'm not sure about this one, to be perfectly honest. Like what happens? Like he sacrifices this one, grows, and that's it. And we didn't do anything and we get the ramp. But then he cannot draw with Kaito. He can cycle though, so I'm not sure if that's such a big deal. I don't think it is. Like, if he really wants to fish for some cards, he can do it anyway. And he already has quite a big card advantage. Hard game, hard game. I also don't really know what the enemy has in the hand, so it's really hard to counterplay it. It's really not an easy task. Titans of Industry needs to go with the trample. What? Wow, that was game-winning play. Wait until enemy Infernal grasps. That wasn't the best display of Dimir gameplay. So, if you thought that Infernal Grasp doesn't have a major downside, apparently it can lose you the games, I guess. You know what they say? If you are on the play with ramp with chariot, you are taking this hand so hard. Man, even my cards got excited for a moment. So my plan for the game is to play multiple chariots and hope they are strong enough to win the game on their own. And I kinda think that it will work. Sacrifice. It's part of the cost, okay. So he cannot really answer it in any way. So hopefully, maybe he makes a mistake. Okay, no, that's fine. I will do it. Let's make a land. And let's play the I hope you don't have enough card. And we will see. Man, the second chariot is even more brutal. I might even... Yeah, okay. I was thinking about activating it just as a bait. Do we go with the second chariot? We probably don't need to, right? Do we go for the Lair? We have what? 5 mana. So we can go 3-3. Okay, I'm not sure what we have other than this to do. That's an interesting one. I don't want to lose Shigeki, to be honest. This cannot get back ESIKA'S Chariots. So I really think we just go for this. We need to pressure him as hard as possible. And we basically have all lands in the hand. We will crew. And that's quite a lot of damage. 7 damage, and our board still grows because of ESIKA'S Chariot balance. By the way, we only played this one card, we have 10-10 in the board. And it's lethal next turn? No, it's not. Okay, okay. But it's close. We are getting there. Oh, so this is Reanimator. Enemy tapped out. So, okay, look at this stuff. Thanks to the fact that we were so aggressive last turn, enemy needs to go fast. and he tapped out for this reason. And I think that's why we will go for Blitz right now. Enemy will have Sweeper right now, next turn, I think. But then we can cast a ESIKA'S Chariot, make cats, sacrifice, get the original chariot that doesn't have summoning sickness, crew with the new cats, and then go for the final 4 damage after the sweeper. And we also have Lair of the Hydra, so I overfought it by quite a lot. For this turn, we do it like this. We crew like this. This is the most efficient to put the most stats in the board. And this is freaking crazy. Play the chariot, they said. You will win the game, they said. We also, even if he sweeps everything, like all those tokens, we kill him with chariot. Even if he kills the chariot, we have double Lair of the Hydra, so we can activate them like both for 1. So he needs to still be untapped to make 2 removal plays. Like, this is insane. See, all you need to do with this deck is play chariot with ramp on play, and usually nobody can keep up. I know because I've been ranting about this card for 15 minutes. Yeah, good card, good card.